So, very good afternoon to one and all, a respected resource person of this afternoon session, Professor Dr. Mrs. Madhuri Sunil Deshpande, ma'am, Senior Faculty, Senior Professor of also ex-Pro Vice Chancellor of SRTM University, Nanded. Her academic qualification is MBA, Marketing Management, MCOM, Personal Management and Industrial Relation, PhD in Management Science, set in Commerce, Diploma in Information Technology, MSCI. Her designation, she has also acted as a Pro Vice Chancellor of Swami Ramanand Marathwada University, Nanded, from the year 2003. Also, Professor, Director, and Head Department of Management Science, School of Commerce and Management of the same university. She has a vast teaching experience of 26 years. Also served as a contributory lecturer for MBA in SRTM University way back in the year 1994, 95, 96. Also has worked as a management consultant in Dur, Durware Private Limited, manufacturer of Nirlep non-stick cookware at Jalna for the period of 1986 to 1993. Under her able guidance, 11 students were awarded PhD 6 in Management Science, 5 in Commerce, and 5 students were awarded MPhil 2 in Management and 3 in Commerce of SRTM University, Nanded. She has also completed major minor projects with a total outlay of more than 7 lakhs. Also, she has successfully guided 150 projects of MBA and 500 projects of business entrepreneurship and 8 projects of MCOM. Also, she has 43 publications, 13 international, 8 national, 7 books, 4 chapters in book, and 3 in souvenir. Also, she has also participated in orientation refresher courses, faculty development program. Also, she has organized conferences, workshop, also worked as an external referee for PhD in various universities across Maharashtra. Also worked as an NAC assessor. Also have been awarded by various agencies. Also a life member of Indian Commerce Association, life member of Marathwada University College Teachers Association. Her field of interest is marketing management, entrepreneurship development, women entrepreneurship, disaster management, and general management. So indeed, it is really an honor and pleasure to have her here as a resource person. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, I welcome Dr. Deshpande ma'am to this uh, session, and I would now hand over the session to her. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. A hearty welcome to all the respectable teachers for the webinar on NEP orientation and sensitization program organized by UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. It is a webinar indeed, a term coined by Honorable Mukulji Kanitkar, a matter of sheer bliss, since a long-cherished education dream come true in the form of NEP 2020. It is heartening to see teachers being present enthusiastically with curiosity, excitement, commitment, and determination so as to contribute their might in implementation of National Education Policy 2020. First time in the world history, education policy is framed based on more than 33 crore inputs received from people from all walks of life. This is the first Swadeshi policy of independent Bharat almost after 185 years. Remember those glorious good old days. before the enactment of Indian Education Act 1835. Ancient Bharatiya education system. More than 10,000 Gurukuls at their best. Names of stalwarts like Gargi, Maitreyi, Aryabhat, Bhaskaracharya, Brahmagupta, Chakrapani, Charak, Sushruta, Madhav, Nagarjun, Panini, Tiruvallur, Varahamihir. From now, name any field and you will find that number of stars they were shining, like from astronomy to medicine, from yoga to economics. Bharat really shining with a galaxy of pioneers and scholars. After enactment of Indian Education Act 1835, deterioration in the Indian education system started and there was the end of Gurukul system in due course of time. Let us bring back the glory. As Swami Vivekananda has said, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. Now, today, we will be talking about NEP 2020 with a focus on holistic and multidisciplinary education. Now, when we say education, definitely it has to be holistic, it has to be multidisciplinary. It is obvious that it is being implied that the term education comprising of holistic as well as multidisciplinary kind of component. Unfortunately, it was not being done. Definitely, as I said in the beginning, almost after 185 years, Swadeshi education policy of independent India, it has been developed and it has been offered for implementation. Literally, each and every stakeholder concerned with education system, they contributed with their suggestions, they contributed with number of instruction, they contributed with number of their difficulties, with solutions, number of challenges they indicated, number of solutions also they gave. And on the basis of that, let us again try to relook at the situation. Now, number of beautiful definitions regarding the term education, we are required again to review, and on that perspective, definitely let us see how with this new national education policy, definitely we'll be dealing with these missed out parts of the education system as a whole. Now, when the Indian Education Act, it was implemented by the British, at that time, the ancient India, it was almost literate, almost more than 95% that was the percentage of literacy in our state. But at the time and deliberately with a view of not to develop the talent, not to develop the intellect, not to just have a holistic and all-round kind of personality development of the Indians, only with that kind of orientation, definitely, that Indian Education Act, it was offered so as to develop only clerical kind of aptitude, only clerical kind of mentality. It was supposed to be trained and conditioned. Only with that orientation, education was being imparted. Otherwise, at that time when I mentioned ancient India, it was having a Gurukul system. So Nalanda, Takshashila, Vallabhi, these were the centers of learning wherein the scholars from all corners of the world, they used to visit, they used to stay in India for the sake of getting education. And when all these famous and popular kind of Gurukuls, they finished their intake, all the uh, capacity was exhausted. So near about 10,000, more than that, Gurukuls, they were present in the vicinity of absorbing all those aspiring kind of students in their own Gurukuls. So that was the robust and very vast, efficient kind of system of education in those days. But later on, in due course of time, the spirit, it faded out, and with that, literally, there was an end of Gurukul system. Now, at this moment also, number of NGOs, they are working like Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal. They have been working so as to revive the Gurukul system. They're just trying to indicate what exactly needs to be done for the sake of making education holistic as well as multidisciplinary, which would be giving rise for the sake of all-round kind of personality development of the students. So definitely with that orientation now, we are required to focus on this National Education Policy 2020. Now at this moment, in draft, in letter, in spirit, a very effective kind of education policy we have got. Number of commendable kind of dreamy kind of highlights of the education system now at this moment we have been aware about. Now what needs to be done is try to appreciate the real logic, try to appreciate the real meaning of all those highlights and accordingly see to it that whatever is in letters, definitely it has to prevail in spirit also with reference to development of the impressionable minds of the students and contributing for the society and for the nation in course, definitely for the sake of all-round personality development of the students. Now, number of definition, as I said, they are indicating what exactly is expected out of education. Education widens the window through which we glance at the world. Definitely, whatever understanding we make regarding our own self, whatever exploration we indicate out of our talent, out of our personality attributes, so definitely that is required to be, that is supposed to be facilitated by the education system. When we talk about education, it's not only about sharing of knowledge. It is not only about imparting of knowledge. As we understand, it is about KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude. It's about sharing of knowledge. It's about development of skills of various kinds which are required for the sake of making a living. At the same time, it is required to make a positive kind of attitudinal change in the mind of the students regarding themselves, regarding their society, regarding their nation, and regarding their role and responsibility towards their own self, toward their family, toward their society, as well as towards the nation as a whole. So, dear friends, in this manner, education is required not only for the sake of making livelihood. Education is basically, it is life. Livelihood is only a part of life. So definitely many of the times, educational institute, they are considered as glorified kind of employment exchange agencies. It's not like that. All-round development of the human beings to create a good human being. Basically, that is one of the objectives whenever we deal with education system. Whenever we deal with objectives of the education system. All-round development, what we observe is, as I said at the beginning, when Indian Education Act, it was acted, it was offered by the British at that time, as I said, Indian literacy, it was reaching near about 100%. And when we got independence at that time, complete deterioration it was observed, and with that, a low level of literacy it was observed. Definitely, after getting independence, we made planned, systematic, and conscious efforts for the sake of strengthening our education system and for the sake of seeing to it that everybody would be getting a fair chance of getting good education. And definitely all the faculties of knowledge it would be they would be developed and they would be enhanced out of the education system. At this moment, a good literacy kind of percentage we observe. Every moment we observe that literacy percentage that is on an increase. But dear friends, as we observe, literacy percentage is increasing. But definitely, with reference to that, are we sure that definitely whatever was expected out of educated minds, out of these ignited minds, did we receive that? Are we very much sure that whatever was expected as the objective of education that is being received? In case you see the percentage of crimes, percentage of domestic violence, percentage of just various kinds of illegal, unethical, undesirable kind of practices in the society, it is decreasing continuously with increase in literacy percentage? Unfortunately not. That means something is missing maybe in our education system. Something is missing maybe with reference to our family system. Something is missing in our societal kind of processes, societal kind of norms, and because of which, in spite of increase in literacy, we are not finding decency in the society. We are not finding that society is becoming very much safe and secure place for everyone to live and for everyone to enjoy. It is not being observed consequently. So with reference to that, again, once again, we are required to relook at the situation. We are required to review the situation and find out what exactly is it that is missing. Friends, before dealing with some specific kind of points with reference to holistic and multidisciplinary kind of education, let me again share with you few reflections which I observe in my journey as a teacher. When I joined in Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University, we were having MBA program. For MBA program, very newly, this subject, the course of entrepreneurship development, it was introduced. I never studied that in my graduation. But anyhow, when I saw that being offered for the students of MBA, definitely, when the subject was allotted to me, I started to study the various contents of the syllabus, and accordingly I tried to equip myself with various contents, various kinds of aspects regarding the course entrepreneurship development. And I found that it's a very effective kind of course. And with reference to that, I tried to imbibe the entrepreneurial spirit among the mind of the students. Basically, when it comes to education, as we understand, definitely a one-to-one kind of relationship that is far more desirable. Each student is unique. Each student is blessed with some unique attributes, some unique traits, and some unique aspirations. When for MBA program, with 60 intake, simultaneously, I'm contacting all the 60 students, I do understand that many amongst them, they are intelligent. Many amongst them, they may be above average, many amongst them, they may be below average also. Grasping of everyone is different. Family background is varied. Their aspirations, they are different. Their goals, they are different. In spite of that, we teachers, we try our best so as to quench the thirst, the learning thirst of all our students who are having a different level of background, who are having a different level of grasping as well as different level of dreaming about their future. Specifically, a subject like entrepreneurship development, basically, it requires a special treatment in the form of one-to-one kind of interaction and communication. As I said, every student is having a different kinds of learning needs and learning desires. In our system, we don't get adequate time, adequate energy so as to invest for this one-is-to-one kind of interaction. And for that reason, we are required to be content with less than that. But anyhow, whenever as a teacher, we are just having a review of the situation, we are observing all the students, definitely we appreciate on the basis of their body language, on the basis of their facial expressions, on the basis of their verbal as well as non-verbal responses, definitely we understand their level of happiness or on the contrary, their level of unhappiness, if at all it is there. We understand how interested they are. What is their capacity of listening? What is their desire for learning? All these things simultaneously we try to appreciate whenever we are having face-to-face communication, where whenever we are having direct touch and direct contact with each other. And with reference to that, for 5 years, for 10 years, I was working on the course entrepreneurship development. I wanted to groom the entrepreneurial personality. I wanted to make my students appreciate personality of an entrepreneur. I wanted the student to appreciate entrepreneurship as a course, as a course of study, entrepreneurship as a probable career option for themselves in the near future. And whenever I was doing that, I observed that at some point in time, maybe after 10 or 15 years, I wanted to know how effective I was as a teacher of entrepreneurship. Same thing happened whenever after 15 to 20 years, I wanted to test how successful I was, how effective I was in understanding my students, in satisfying the learning desire of my students. What kind of role did I have in success of my students? I wanted to know that. And with that, 2 experiments I conducted. Definitely, they may be subject related, they may be course related, they may be program related, but anyhow, the logic that is commonly applicable across all disciplines and across all levels of the students and all types of the students. And that's why I'm sharing that kind of experiment with you. When I wanted to learn, whenever I used to enter the class of entrepreneurship, definitely my first obvious question used to be, how many of you want to become entrepreneurs? And my students, they avoided my eye contact. Many students, they were just uh, missing the eye contact, and because never any of them, never they intended to be an entrepreneur. But anyhow, the situation I was talking about, it was near about 25 years back. In last 10 years, to be more precise, in last 5 to 10 years, definitely the situation has been changed for betterment. Because of some active initiatives of the government, because of popularization of various kinds of initiatives by the government, developing favorable kind of environment for industries, for different enterprises as such, nowadays more and more students now they develop as they are developing an aspiration to be an entrepreneur. But definitely that was not the situation before 25 years. And when I wanted to know about that, definitely. So with that, why many of them, they are not interested in entrepreneurship? I wanted to know about that. And with that objective in my mind, I worked on a minor research project titled was Barriers to Entrepreneurship Among Commerce and Management Students, a case study of Swami Ramanand Tirth, Marathwada University, Nanded. And with that, I developed a questionnaire. I visited all the colleges, all the affiliated colleges, and my own university department, my own School of Commerce and Management Science, wherein I contacted the final year students of commerce and management who were pursuing their masters. And through a structured questionnaire, I got their replies, I got their responses. Along with that, I made it compulsory everywhere that I used to have a one-to-one dialogue, an informal kind of discussions with many of them. And out of all such kinds of efforts for knowing about their personality, it was not only about entrepreneurship, although my motive was to know about the barriers to entrepreneurship. But definitely, while knowing about that, I wanted to explore their own self, I mean, their own reflection about their own personality, self awareness. I wanted to know about. I wanted to explore their family background. I wanted to explore their motivations. I wanted to explore their dreams, their ambitions, their goals, their career goals, the opportunities which they are perceiving, their role models. I wanted to know what kind of future career plans they are making and what are the reasons for which they are making a specific kind of career plan. And whenever I went through all such kinds of things. Whenever I went through all such kinds of completed questionnaires, and after I classified all the questionnaires, I did find that number of effective kind of learning that could take place out of the conclusions of that report of minor research project. Many of the students, they indicated that never they explored their own self. Self-awareness, self-appraisal, never they could get an opportunity to do that, which was the major barrier. Now, dear teachers, dear teacher friends, definitely I took it very much seriously. And the moment at which I explored that report, next moment, I change my approach and continue. Definitely, teaching, learning, that is a continuous kind of process. Experimentation, it takes place every moment. So whenever we get some observations, whenever we get some conclusions, definitely with that, we make some kind of change regarding dealing with our teaching learning process. I did the same. When I found that all the students, they were talking about their role models like their fathers, their teachers, their mothers, their grandparents, and like that. Near about only not more than 20% amongst them, they talk about the well-known popular kind of role models in the society because they were not aware. Their exposure, it was limited. And because of that, they were not aware regarding many successful personalities. They are not aware about many enterprising kind of personalities. So that was the major barrier for them. Then again, when I asked them about their dreams, about their goals, about their career plans, then I found that many amongst them they try to explore their own personality. In management discipline, there is a commonly popular kind of technique which is known as SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, as well as challenges. So definitely every moment, the first chance one should give for exploring one's self personality, self perception as such. So that was very miserably, it was missing among the students who were pursuing their masters, and that too in the final year of their degree. And then I made it necessary for each semester that I should give opportunity my students to talk about themselves. I should make them think about themselves. I should make them talk about themselves. I should make them explore their own personality, explore their own strengths, their own limitations. And I made it compulsory in every semester that they should talk about their own career plans, their own goals, and what kind of effort they were making for the sake of achieving that. And slowly, by conducting such kind of activities in every semester, a drastic transformation in the personality, in the mindset that I observe in response to that. So definitely, with reference to the reflections which I received from the research projects, whenever we are prompted for dealing with any kind of research regarding the teaching learning process, regarding the methodology of teaching learning, regarding the infrastructure availability, regarding whatever facilities we are providing to them, regarding whatever infrastructural amenities they are being available for them. Definitely, whenever we are pursuing research, whenever we are trying to find out what is standard, what is ideal, and what is actually is being provided, what kind of gap is there. So on our own, out of such kind of research, definitely tremendous opportunities they are available for us as teacher for the sake of making a drastic change in this teaching learning kind of process. So definitely with reference to that, whenever we talk about education, the ultimate outcome of education is to make the students a good human being, whether that has been achieved or not. So at every opportunity, at every possibility, definitely we are required to check that. Because number of times what happens is whenever we talk about education, we mean only formal education. That means some curriculum is there, some objectives they are given, some course outcomes are there, some course objectives are there. With reference to that, some methodologies they are prescribed. And only with reference to that, we are trying to share knowledge. Only we are trying to deal with exam management. Only we are trying to make some kind of change in the personality of the students. Number of times we make our own assumptions, number of times we make our own objectives, that what exactly we want to achieve out of this process. And with reference to that, in case the placement percentage is more, in case the placement package is more, definitely as teacher we feel happy that, oh, we are in the right direction. So number of facets are there for just checking this journey, whether we are in the right direction or not. As I mentioned in the initial kind of discussion, knowledge, skills, and attitudes. These are the three aspects on which we are required to appreciate whether we are giving full justice to the task or not. Knowledge sharing, definitely that gets done because curriculum is maintained, curriculum is established, exams are scheduled on the prescribed kind of curriculum, and definitely with reference to that, we see to it that the course content they are being shared with the students. Regarding skills, again, we are required to appreciate at our own level. BOS does that. Number of university authorities, number of agencies are there, they do it at their own level. But definitely, their teacher friends, we are at the grassroots level. Whatever curriculum that is imparted to us, we may be involved in development of that or not. But whenever as a teacher, whenever we are interacting with the students and whenever we are trying to indicate whether we are giving our best or not, whether we are trying all possible dimensions of the education objectives or not, then at that point, I made several kind of checkpoints through which always I try to ensure whether I'm giving full justice to my task or not, wherein my first checklist was dealing with K, S, and A. Knowledge, that part, majority of us, it gets done because of curriculum, because of the examination, and because of the result percentage. We do it in a common way. Second part is dealing with skills. It's for every one of us to identify, dealing with our course, which kind of skills they are required to be developed for my students. We are required to list out for each of the course which kind of skills they are to be developed. Accordingly, we are required to see to it that all such kinds of skills they are being developed. Student, they are getting opportunity to develop that kind of skills. In case they are finding some kind of difficulty, definitely we are available at that moment so as to help the student and so as to make them attain whatever we are just planning for them. So this is how attitudinal changes also definitely we are expected to indicate out of our teaching learning process. So whenever we speak about education, many of the times we see to it that we talk about only formal kind of education, which is restricted within the four walls of the classroom. We impart them knowledge. We see to it that the necessary skills, they are also being developed. In addition to that, we also see to it that attitudinal changes also consequently they are being taking place among the students. But definitely it is not enough to do that. And because of that, two more aspects of this holistic and multidisciplinary kind of education I have added to the list. Along with formal education, environment education and value-based education, these two aspects, in case they are added to the formal education as commonly we deal with that, then only it would be called as holistic and multidisciplinary kind of education. Like environment education indicates what is my role in the society? What are various issues and happenings in the society and what I'm required to do with that? Whenever I read as a student, I read the textbook, I read the reference book. Whenever I write the examination, whenever I get good result, I'm happy with that. But as far as environment education is concerned, whenever something else I observe in the environment and I fail to appreciate what is the relation of that entity with my education, with me, how I can solve that issue, how I can solve that kind of problem. When I fail to know that, that means something is missing with my education. Sometimes what happens, students, whenever MBA, for MBA program, 60 students, they pass out. Whenever after 2 or 3 months, I wish to get a review as a teacher of management regarding how many of them they are employed, maybe 50%, maybe roughly in general manner, I say, maybe 50% of them they are employed, 50% still they are not employed. Again, after 1 to 2 months, again, I get one more review and I find that near about 70 to 80% amongst them, now they are being absorbed in good corporates with reasonable packages. What about this 10 or 20 or 30% of the students who could not get employment? Who is to be blamed for that? Me, as a teacher? Education system? The students? Their families? So what is missing, and because of which this employment that is not being found for all the students? So this is how, with reference to course objectives and course outcomes, with reference to program objectives and program outcomes, as a teacher, I have been just through a process in which for every semester, for each of the course which I am dealing with, always I used to list out the objectives. I used to list out the expected kind of outcome out of that kind of activity. Because for getting employment is not only the test of success of education, and getting more and more employment of the student, that cannot be said to be the quality of good teaching. That cannot be the indicator of good teaching as such. But whenever we want to appraise the performance, we have the uh, we are having the motive of pursuit of excellence. We are motivated for the sake of pursuing perfection in whatever we do, maybe in the teaching learning process. Definitely we have to begin at some point, and then we are required to move beyond that. So with reference to that, in a formal education, maybe good passing percentage, good result, and good placement, maybe such kind of objectives, normally they are being decided upon. But with environment education, with value-based kind of education, definitely we are required to appreciate whether really we are just able to achieve the ultimate objective of generating a good human being, whether it is possible or not, whether it has been materialized or not. Then in that situation, again, we are required to look at the environment education as well as value-based kind of education. Now let us move towards, again, few more highlights of this National Education Policy 2020. The fundamental pillars of National Education Policy, they can be indicated as access, equity, quality, affordability, as well as accountability. These are the different dimensions which definitely they are required to be found with reference to education. As we have seen regarding the main features of NEP 2020, we are required to increase the GER to 50%, and the target is to be achieved near about by 2035. And again, we are required to appreciate that a wide range of subjects, they should be covered, out of which some subjects may be having academic orientation. Some courses, they may be non-academic, but definitely they are required with reference to development of some kind of skills and some kind of vocational kind of guidance also. Definitely that has to be a necessary kind of part of this education kind of system. Then along with that, the Indian knowledge system, definitely until now we have found that Indian knowledge system, it was miserably being missing in our education system. If you remember the Banabhatta's Kadambari, where the reference says in the initial stages, that we will observe that Good education was consisting of 64 arts, 64 kalas, which included art, science, vocational skills, professional skills, as well as soft skills. Some disturbance is there in the PPT. Is it okay for you, or shall we get a break? Okay, unable to unmute, but you can write. I can read whatever you are writing. Some disturbance is there in the slides, as you have noted. Do you want me to continue, or shall we get a break of 5 minutes? I don't have any problem in case you want to continue. Okay, fine. As you said me in the chat, both. Someone says break is required, someone is says no break. Okay. 5 minutes. Fine. Let us break for 5 minutes. Let us have a break. 5 minutes. Shall I continue now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. So a participant and a question, you can raise your hand, then unmute. I'm permitted you unmute answer.
So we left at fundamental pillars of NEP 2020, which indicated that access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. These are the basic features dealing with this national education policy. Then we started reviewing what are the main features regarding NEP 2020. So GER that is required to increase to 50% by 2035. So we are moving toward that direction. So all-round effort, they are required to be made. Now, administrators, the decision makers, the committee members, they were headed over the policy. They have given us all the guidelines. Now we are in the process of implementing all the major features of NEP 2020 one by one. Postgraduate program already we started implementing. Then in the coming academic year, undergrad programs also they would be implemented. So this is how number of features of NEP 2020, they are started being implemented, and we teachers, we are having an instrumental role to play for proper implementation in the true spirit regarding all the dimensions of this national education policy. So this NEP 2020, it's consisting of holistic and multidisciplinary kind of education. And it is empowered by multiple entry and multiple exit kind of options. Now we'll throw light regarding this holistic, multidisciplinary education as well as multiple entry and multiple exit options later on. Let us see the other main features of NEP 2020, in which you will find that there are a wide range of subjects. Many amongst them, they are academic, some are non-academic also, and along with that, a vocational component also, it has been given due importance for the sake of holistic and all-round development of the students. Promotion of multilingualism, obviously, that is again a major highlight of this NEP. Along with that, Indian knowledge system and value education, very well, they are imbibed in all the aspects of this NEP. Mother tongue, as well as local language, regional language, again, specifically, they have been emphasized wherever it would be convenient for the student to be familiar with that, to be comfortable with that, and accordingly, that kind of freedom and flexibility that is provided in this NEP 2020. Regular teacher training. Definitely, that is a focus of this NEP 2020. Teacher, they are required to be empowered for the sake of attaining the objectives of this NEP, and accordingly, all kinds of facilities and all kinds of amenities, they are required to be provided to them so as to ensure that they are giving their best, they are giving their 100% for the sake of holistic development of the students. At some point in time, a teacher was in the role of a tutor. But now, a teacher is in the role of operations manager. Teachers nowadays, they are being labeled as enablers of the learning environment. As enablers of the learning environment, a teacher has to visualize the requirement of infrastructure, relevant teaching, learning kind of material, references, exercises, experiments, and projects which are required for that kind of course. So, for each independent kind of course, each and every teacher has to work on the requirements of different kinds of materials which are required for this teaching learning process, references, various exercises, experiments to be conducted, and projects they should be given for the students. Each teacher for each course has to work on that, and seeing the uniqueness of each and every student, definitely different kinds of facilities they are required to be provided to the students so that the teaching learning process it would be made sorry, more and more effective. And from that angle, as I said, teachers now they are perceived as enablers of this learning environment. Learning environment has to be created. A proper system has to be established because we understand a curriculum is given. How that curriculum is to be implemented, it varies from teacher to teacher. It is different for, uh, for each and every student. Of course, we do understand the difficulties of one-to-one interaction. Limited applicability is available. But anyhow, depending upon the nature of the students, depending upon the requirements of the students, and depending upon the nature of the course, definitely some opportunities they can be given with reference to this one-to-one interaction also. And wherever it is possible, as we understand, dealing with all the students uniformly on the same platform with the same kind of methodology, definitely that is the popular kind of methodology which is being followed. Now, specific kind of teacher training institutes, they are proposed under this NEP 2020, and accordingly, number of opportunities they would be given to the teachers for the sake of updating their skills, updating their knowledge, as well as updating some kind of recent developments and mindset changes also. Definitely they are incorporated out of that. More and more importance is given for visualizing the requirements for the sake of including creativity as well as the element of innovation, and for the sake of positive thinking as well as for the sake of lateral thinking also. Definitely efforts are underway for the sake of training the teachers, and with that more empowered the teachers, more effective kind of procedures and processes they would be observed, and qualitative outcome that would be possible at the end of the process. Experiential learning methods. So definitely these experiential learning methods, they are having a tremendous kind of role as far as development of the students is concerned. Whenever you are talking about a dynamic subject like marketing, and whenever you are delivering that kind of knowledge within the four walls of the classroom, definitely it would not be effective. So number of other methodologies also, number of other kind of environment also, they must be recreated, and accordingly sitting in the classroom, definitely with the help of audio visual medium, with the help of case studies, with the help of case examples, with the help of role plays, with the help of management exercises, with the help of management games, with a number of different kinds of pedagogies. In case you are trying to convey the subject, along with that, you are giving some kind of field exposure. In case you are just allow them to conduct some need-based market surveys, in case you are making them deal with some kind of trend analysis, in case you are making them deal with some kind of studies regarding consumer behavior, then definitely the teaching learning process with reference to a course like marketing management, really it would be meaningful as well as fruitful. So in this manner, We are now in our new NEP curriculum and the course structure, we observe OJT, internship and on-job trainings. Again, they have become a compulsory feature in each basket. So with that, definitely, in case you are giving them the exposure of the related skill, of the related kind of knowledge with the concerned kind of industry or maybe enterprise or any administrative office for that matter, or any government department for that matter. So definitely the learning would be much more meaningful as well as fruitful. So experiential learning methods, definitely, they are an inseparable, just indispensable kind of part of the teaching learning process. Obviously, modern technology that is very essential for the sake of incorporating the experiential learning methods in the teaching kind of process. For that reason, earn and learn scheme also, definitely it would be contributing a lot for the sake of developing that kind of exposure. Internship programs, they can be organized along with the earn and learn kind of scheme. So with reference to that, different stakeholders, they could be approached, maybe industry, maybe government offices, maybe industry associations, maybe professionals, maybe consultants, maybe disciplinarians, maybe experts from different walks of life. They can be contacted, and through their contact, definitely, it would be possible to have a meaningful interaction and a meaningful kind of learning out of these different stakeholders. And with that, teacher, they would be more empowered to give justice for the teaching learning kind of process. Now, along with these main features of NEP 2020, let us try to indicate what kind of holistic education we are dreaming being a part of this NEP 2020. Holistics indicates it is as a whole. Holistic part indicates it is not in parts. Whenever you are just dealing with a course, so definitely knowledge, skills, attitudes, behavioral modifications, attitudinal transformations, skill development kind of initiatives. So combinedly, all these kinds of strategies you are applying together, and a full hand working experience, full hand experiential kind of learning you are giving to your students. And for that purpose, you are having an interaction not only with the teachers, but you are having an interaction with different stakeholders from different areas of human endeavor. Government as well as non-governmental setup. You are meeting teachers, you are meeting experts, you are meeting entrepreneurs, you are making businessmen, you are meeting government officers, you are visiting various industries, you are visiting various corporate offices, you are visiting social infrastructure. So number of such kinds of exposures regarding the outside environment, definitely that matters a lot as far as this holistic education that is being concerned. As is mentioned in the slide, NEP 2020 envisages holistic education as the way to lead the country to 21st century, with an aim to have both individual and national development. So that is the beauty of this holistic education. Individual development is targeted. Along with that, family also gets the benefit of that. Community also gets a benefit of that. Consequently, economy as well as nation gets a benefit of all such kinds of development initiatives. The philosophy of holistic education, it is based on the premise that each learner finds identity, meaning, and purpose in life through their connection with the local community, with the natural world, and to the humanitarian values such as compassion and peace. So this is how holistic education, as initially I told you, multidisciplinary and holistic education. It is comprising of formal education, which we have been following until yet in a general manner. Along with that, environment education and value-based education. Definitely, there has to be an integration, a combination of all these three types of initiatives together. Then only we'll be having education of our dream. Then only the person, the student who would be coming out of this education system would be truly empowered so as to make a change in the world, so as to bring out a change in the world. So each and every term of this slide that conveys a big meaning, such as each learner finds identity, meaning, and purpose in life. Whenever you are conveying a course, it's not only telling the importance, not only telling the definition of that, not only talking about nature, meaning, scope, importance, limitation, advantages of that kind of criteria. Definitely, you are required to do that. But along with that, you are required to give justice for finding out the identity, meaning, and purpose in life. What kind of learner I am? What kind of role I am supposed to perform? Why I am learning that? Out of this learning, what I am going to achieve? What I am going to deal with? Some of my problems, some of the societal problems with the help of this kind of learning. So this is how we teachers, we are required to deliver the contents. We are required to share the courses in such a manner that each and every student would be exploring one's identity, one's purpose, as well as one's role in the society with reference to that particular kind of topic through their connections with the local community, natural world, and to the humanitarian values. While dealing with that, we should not just lose the focus with the humanitarian kind of values. Number of times what happens, the techniques they are conveyed, but what are the pros and cons of that conflict? They are not being communicated to the students. They fail to appreciate the uh, ramifications of that uh, criteria. So, as a teacher, we should indicate them what this philosophy is, what this philosophy does to the society, what would be the short-term consequences, what would be the long-term consequences, and only with such kind of initiative, definitely a holistic learning, a holistic kind of experience in learning, students they would be getting. Second bullet of the slide indicates education seeks to address physical, emotional, social, ethical, cultural, and academic needs of the students in an integrated manner with a motive of every student succeeds. It's very meaningful. Each term of the sentence that conveys a lot to the readers, such as every student succeeds. There are some fast learners, there are some slow learners, but definitely each type of learner, each type of student definitely has a particular kind of role to perform in the society. It is not that only we require mediocre student. It is not only that we require only slow learners. It is not only that we require the fast learners. We in the society there is a requirement of all kinds of students, all kinds of individuals, and all types of skills, all types of talents. And with that, we are required to focus on the uniqueness. We are required to focus on the mindset, on the talent and ability of each of the student, and accordingly see to it that whatever skill they possess, whatever ability do they possess, we are required to enrich that. We are required to augment that. With that orientation, we are required to address all types of needs of the students. Now, by the way, I wish to indicate again one more important kind of point associated with this second bullet of holistic education. At one point in time, there was a belief that for getting success in life, there is a big role of IQ. Intelligent quotient, it was supposed to be the measure of success of an individual in the society. But gone are the days. Nowadays, we give more importance to emotional intelligence, the ability to get along with the people that has become more successful and more important kind of criteria for getting success in the society. In case your brain is very powerful, it's very resourceful, but anyhow, you fail to communicate with people, you fail to maintain good relations with them. So definitely with that, you may not be able to succeed. So with that realization now, we have understood the concept of multiple intelligence also put forward by Gardner. And now with that, we understand along with emotional intelligence, along with intelligence quotient, along with that, we are required to pay attention to various different dimensions of the personality. We are required to be aware about physical quotient, about the social quotient, about the spiritual quotient, about the adversity quotient, and many such aspects of our life. It's not only that, only with your brain power, you can be able to succeed and you would be able to stand out in the crowd. Along with that, in case you are having high level of emotional intelligence, you know how to deal with human beings, how to get along with them, how to get cooperation of the others, how to cooperate with the others. In case you are able to put yourself in the shoes of the others, so definitely with that, you can achieve a lot. Number of times what happens is, in case you understand the management hierarchy, then you will find that at the bottom level of the organization, there is frontline managers, bottom level managers. Bottom level managers, they are required to possess high level of technical ability. They are required to possess a medium level of communication and human relations skill, and they are required to possess abstract ability to the maybe to a less proportion. As we move up the organizational hierarchy, you will find that top level administrators, they are required to possess a high level of abstract reasoning, high level of sense of visualization, and along with that, they are required, they don't require high level of technical skills and technical ability as such. Because in case they are having high level of visualization kind of skills, they are having high level of human relation ability, definitely with that they can hire the services of the experts, services of the technocrats, services of the technicians, and accordingly they can be able to get the things done with that. So what is important is sense of visualization. What is important is getting the things done through the others and making them cooperate you, seeking their cooperation, developing a synergistic effect that is supposed to be more important. So from that angle, uh, giving importance for all-round development of the student, making them realize what kind of skills and what kind of abilities they are required to nurture, how to move from a low level of ability to a high level of ability, what kind of effort they are required for that, what are the ways and means so as to reach the high echelons of management. So in case you are providing guidance regarding all such kinds of dimensions to the students, then it amounts to holistic education as such. Now, as is indicated, holistic education looks after both livelihood as well as life. Livelihood, earning your bread, that is only a part of life. It is not whole of it. And because of that, nowadays we are having a misperception that education is for getting employment. Education is for the sake of getting salaried job. It is not like that. Along with that, number of different dimensions of life. Again, they require education. They require exploring the different aspects of the personality. Along with getting a job, you are required to create a job. You are required to create job opportunities for others in the society. So that kind of knowledge, that kind of skill also has to be imparted to the students. Acquisition of life skills necessary for lifelong development. So in case you are having technical ability, you are learning a technical skill, and with that technical skill, you are getting a job. So when you get the job, definitely you are having up-to-date knowledge. But in due course of time, knowledge gets updation, and accordingly, individual also has to update his her knowledge. In case the individual fails to do that, the individual may be outdated and may be thrown out of the organizational hierarchy, may not be getting the promotion, may not be able to retain the job. For that reason, learnability, that is a must. A person is required to have the learnability, learning ability, learning desire. And with that, as and when society changes, as and when skills undergo a wide variation, as and when new technology is introduced, as and when new fashions are introduced, accordingly, such kind of updation has to be made in the personality with reference to the person, with reference to the task, with reference to the organization, and with reference to the technology. Change is to be accepted on all those dimensions with reference to the organizational environment. Then another bullet says development of capacities that promotes student wellness such as fitness, good health, psychosocial well-being, and sound ethical grounding. So definitely this third bullet also throws light regarding different dimensions of holistic education. Education has to develop different aspects of the personality of the student, such as fitness. Just now I talked about physical fitness, physical quotient. Definitely that is having its own importance. Whenever you are sitting in the class, whenever you are paying attention to the course contents, definitely along with that, your fitness, your emotional fitness, your mental fitness, uh, again, it matters a lot. So on all such kinds of dimensions, whenever you are paying attention to the needs of the student, then only it is termed as holistic education. Good health. So nowadays, as we observe after Corona, retention capacity, listening ability of the student, it has been reduced a lot. Concentration span, it has been reduced. Attention getting value, again, it has been reduced. So definite efforts nowadays, even if it is a class of 60 minutes, we understand for all the 60 minutes, it is difficult to retain the attention of the students. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Attention span varies from person to person. It depends upon the resourcefulness, the clarity, the communication skills of the speaker, of the teacher also. But anyhow, whenever one-to-one interaction is there, whenever face-to-face interaction is there, whenever verbal responses, non-verbal responses, facial expression, they are being observed. So definitely with that, one can ensure that a win-win situation that is being observed. Definitely with that, we can ensure that learning desire that is completely being fulfilled. Because in case you are not in your good health, definitely it is not possible for you to focus. It is not possible for you to concentrate. So definitely some kind of relaxation, it has to be given, some kind of time gap, it has to be given, some break, it has to be given, and then only with that refreshment, you can be able to concentrate again the related kind of aspects. So let the formal lecture be a combination of different kinds of pedagogies. Formal chalk and talk method. It is no more considered as the only effective kind of method of teaching learning. Along with that, some Q's and A's, questions and answers, they are being asked. Along with that, some management games they are being played. Along with that, some role plays they are being just indicated. Along with that, some case studies they are presented. Along with that, some group discussions they are carried on. If at all, some interview sessions, mock interviews, they are being just demonstrated. So this is how different kinds of pedagogies they are required to be applied, and with that we can ensure that now you can be able to retain the attention, and you can be able to just concentrate the attention of the student on a particular point of interest. Psychosocial well-being and sound ethical grounding. Very well, these are the very essential parts of the all-round development of the students. What is the purpose of holistic education? In the next part of the slide, the holistic education purpose also is the established. Why holistic education? Because we wish to develop highly capable, socially acceptable, skilled, enterprising youth who would assume leadership in various spheres so as to face national and global challenges with dedication to human values and rooted in glorious Indian culture and tradition. Now, the last part of this purpose that requires proper attention, rooted in glorious Indian culture and tradition. That part miserably was missing in our present education system. We had new education policy, then we have again action program, action orientation, dealing with that new education policy. But anyhow, that Indian culture, it was missing. And now with IKS, Indian knowledge system, definitely it has been made a compulsory part of this Indian education system nowadays. Previously, it was missing. And because of that, in the Gurukulas, which I mentioned in the first session, in the Indian Gurukuls, holistic learning was there. Holistic way of learning, it was exercise. I would like to give an example of this holistic learning. Like no separate classes, no separate kind of subjects, no separate kind of independent lectures, class system. It was not there in the Gurukul. I heard an example about the Gurukul, that in the Gurukul, students, the teacher, they used to take the students to a farm, maybe to a wheat farm. So it was connect with the nature. It was some kind of change outside the four walls of the classroom. The teacher used to take the students for some experiential learning, for having some refreshing kind of experience with reference to teaching learning process. Then they used to observe the grains, how it was cultivated, how the seeds they were bought, how it was cultivated, what kind of fertilizers they were given, how many seeds they were required per acre, what kind of yield it would be observed, what is the role of sunlight, what is the role of different nutrients, what is the role of water, what is the role of raining. So each and every dimension very systematically, practically, it was being demonstrated to the students. The entire value chain, right from acquiring the raw material to the developing the product, further processing, further finished product, handing over the further finished product to the ultimate customers. Entire dynamics, it was being revealed to the students. Like for mowing the wheat, what kind of seeds they are required, where they are available, in what quantity they are available, what kind of quality it is to be, how to assure the quality of the seeds, how to go for cultivation of that, how to reap it. So entire training, it was just being given to the students. Students again, they used to take part in that process. They were again given the seeds and they were again required to water the plants. They were again being required to observe what kind of quantity is required. What if less water is given? What if more water is given? So each and every activity on their own, the student, they used to carry on and under the guidance of the teachers, and accordingly they used to observe the process. So after a frequent interval of time, they used to again visit the same place for finding out the growth. They used to get the pleasure of they did some kind of meaningful, lively activity in which changes they are taking place day by day. Then when the crop is ready for harvesting, at that time also the students, they were being involved in the process. They used to take the pleasure of finding out how, in what period of time, uh, multiplication of different seeds it was being observed, and how much yield they could get each acre. So that kind of estimation, what they made in the beginning and what practically they received, they used to make a calculation on that. Then what was the rate of the raw material? Now what is the rate of the finished product? Immediately, what kind of market they should get? What kind of markets they are available? Market is opportune at this time for sale of the crop, or shall they wait for that for getting the right price? Then how to store that in the warehousing, how to store that in various godowns. So that kind of knowledge also it was being provided to them. What is the role of farmer? Who is in between the farmer and the consumer? So that kind of value chain also it was being indicated to them. How to price the product? Again, a live demo. It was just in front of them. It was just being exercised. Then, then again, regarding the quality of the soil, regarding the type of the soil, again, there was an education of this kind also. The entire economics, commerce, marketing management, financial management, consumer behavior, dealing with all such kinds of aspects regarding history, geography. So all such kinds of aspects also, without any barrier of any specific discipline as such, a holistic learning experience, it was being imparted to the students. And this is how the Gurukul system, it was at its best. A complete understanding regarding the practical realities, not only bookish kind of things, supplementary books, definitely they were being provided. Additional lectures, definitely they were being delivered. But anyhow, uh, practice of whatever they are reading, a real life practice of whatever that was being learned. So that was the beauty of this Gurukul system. So this is how the purpose of education, as I said, Indian culture and tradition. So accordingly, this is how it was being provided to them, and accordingly, the student who is coming out of that education system was fully equipped, was fully informed, was fully empowered to deal with whatever activity it was being given. They were having number of options after growing wheat. Directly, wheat can be marketed as per the choice in the near market or maybe in the far off kind of place as required. Local markets, regional markets, national markets, international markets, they were being available to do that. And along with that, if required, storage facility was being available for them. So wait for the right time, right price to be offered, and then get your product in the market. That facility also was available. it was again being indicated to the students, this is how you can wait for the right price to be offered. Until then, you can store your goods. So that facility was also available. Or for further processing, either you can sell wheat, or maybe you can process it and you can sell wheat flour. So that facility also, it was indicated to them. Further, for making some value addition regarding this wheat flour and all that, so that kind of option also, it was being indicated to them. So the student who is studying in the Gurukul was having an entire idea regarding all disciplines of human endeavor, right from economics, statistics, mathematics, maybe history, maybe agriculture, maybe climatic environment, climatic kind of conditions, all round kind of knowledge dealing with a specific product, dealing with a specific kind of crop, it was being available for the student. A very effective kind of learning process in which 24/7 the student was engaged, the student was involved in some kind of activity actively, not only passively. And with that, confidence building automatically, that was the basic feature. In case you remember, Sudama and Krishna, they used to study in the same Gurukul. So irrespective of the caste, creed, race, religion, irrespective of all that, definitely every student was receiving the same chance of learning. Every student was having the same level of learning being imparted. So this is that was the beauty of Gurukuls. At this moment also, we can try our best to give that kind of all-round kind of learning experience for our students. This Indian culture, definitely it has to be indicated what happened over a number of years. What was the glorious ancient history of our country? In number of areas, take a metal craft, take textiles, take yoga, take meditation, in all such kinds of fields, we were having the top status, we were having the top position. So again, there is a time now that again we can bring back that glory of the past. We can contribute to the process of making our country Vishwaguru once again. And with reference to that, definitely we must try our best. So glorious Indian culture and tradition, along with that, dedication to human values. Whatever efforts we are making for shaping the personality of the students, definitely human values, they should receive the priority. They must receive the priority. At this moment, what happens in case anything wrong happens in the society? How many people, they remain silent spectators, they don't interfere? Criminal may be only one or two, they may be less. Spectators, they are more. But in spite of that, spectators, they don't intervene, they don't interfere, they don't stop such kinds of wrong practices. That means something is missing. Everyone thinks that uh, personally, I'm not affected. So why should I worry? Why should I bother? So that kind of thinking, that kind of thinking, it has to be changed. And more active role, more and more compassion and empathy, it has to be ensured as far as helping others and seeking cooperation from the others. That kind of activity is being concerned. Connect with the nature, it is missing. Connect with the society, that is again being missing. These basic features, again, they are required to be recovered in this education system. And with that, we are required to pay full attention for all the highlights, for all the basic kind of features of the NEP 2020. So we are required to develop highly capable capability. We are required to ensure about our students with reference to proper knowledge, with reference to development of the skills of the students, and with reference to attitudinal changes, as well as proper desirable kind of behavioral modifications. We are required to develop capable and competent kind of individuals who would be socially acceptable. No language barrier, no caste barrier, no creed barrier, no religion barrier. It should be present in the education system. And then only socially acceptable kind of students, they would be coming out of the education institutions. Skilled, enterprising youth, sorry, skilled youth. So KSA, we already indicated that skills, they must be developed. Whenever you learn the theory, in the light of the theory, which kind of skill they are to be developed, technical skills, professional skills, soft skills, whichever skills they are required. So definitely we teachers, we must ensure that requisite kind of skills again they are being developed. Enterprising youth, definitely enterprising individuals, they are required everywhere. Enterprising individuals, they are required everywhere. Enterprising individuals indicate, now there are number of different kind of elements of the enterprising personality. Enterprising personality, generally 3 attributes I associate as far as entrepreneurial or enterprising personality is concerned. First is goal setting. First aspect of enterprising personality is goal setting. Goal setting indicates each and every student must be able to set an achievable goal for himself or herself. When you come in the class, not without a goal, you should attend the class. Before coming to the class, are you prepared to sit in the class? That question each student has to ask himself or herself. Straightway, you see the timetable and you enter the class. Instead of that, which class is it? Which topic is going to be delivered today? Which topic is going to be discussed today? What do I know about that topic? If I don't know anything about the topic, definitely I have to make efforts to learn that. I have to do something for developing some familiarity with that topic, and then only I should enter the class. So that kind of preparation that is required for entering in the class. So regarding goal setting, goal is to be established for every situation, for every place. Even before coming to the class, what is my goal today? What I am going to learn in the class today? Am I going to contribute something in the class, or I am going to be only in the role of a listener? So that has to be clarified. And because of that, goal setting indicates I have taken admission to the first year. What is my goal at the end of first semester? What should be my goal at the end of the second semester? At the end of the fourth semester, what I should expect from myself? Say if I as a student, I wish to increase my communication skill. I want to improve on my communication skill. So while seeking admission for the first semester, I should see to it that what is my score on a scale of 1 to 10 for my own communication skill? I have to assess myself on a scale of 0 to 10 for my proficiency in communication skills. In case my communication skill, I think they are near about 4. 0 to 10, I am at 4 as far as my own appraisal regarding my own communication skills are concerned. So at the end of the second semester, I should cross 5. At the end of the third semester, I should go for 7. At the end of the fourth semester, I should go for 8. My score in the communication skill has to be 8. That much I have to ensure. For increasing my communication skill score from 4 to 6, what should I do? that I have to decide. I have to talk with my teacher and I have to decide what I should do so that my communication skill will increase. So this is how I have to set goal. This is how I have to decide what I should do for increasing my communication skill. Number one, I have to speak in the class. I have to speak with my students, with my student friends. I have to speak with the teachers. I have to speak with the senior students. I don't have confidence to do that. What I should do? I don't have the confidence to deliver seminar presentation in the class. What I am required to do so as to improve my performance in seminar presentation? So I should talk with my friends who are also equally worried about their seminar presentation. I am required to develop a group of 5 who are like-minded. We should sit together. I should deliver my presentation in front of them. I should seek their reactions, their comments, and on the basis of criticism received, I have to improve myself. So this is how number of strategies they are available. We have to work with the students. We have to help them for putting their goals at various levels with reference to different skills, with reference to various knowledge abilities, with reference to various performance kinds of features, and accordingly, we should encourage them for putting different goals at different levels of the time frame. Short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. We should ask them where you would like to see yourself 5 years down the line. What is goal for yourself after 5 years? And this is how we should encourage them to set goals for themselves for a day, for a week, for a month, for a fortnight, maybe for a year, for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years, and accordingly give them some strategies so that they would be able to achieve the goal. So regarding enterprising youth, the first quality is goal setting. Second one is problem solving. Second ability of the enterprising youth, it would be a problem solving. Problem solving indicates number of times what happens whenever we are faced with a problem. Straight away, we ask someone to help me. Very few students on their own, they make their own efforts for the sake of finding out the solution. So regarding this problem solving ability, we should make students realize that on their own, they should make first-hand efforts for the sake of understanding problem, for the sake of identifying number of ways and means through which the problem can be solved, and accordingly they should make every effort so as to solve the problem at their own level. And when this exercise continuously that is being followed, that at some point in time the student gets the confidence that come what may, now I am ready to face the situation. I am ready to solve any kind of problem which may come to me. So that kind of problem solving ability we have to develop for our students. We have to encourage them, we have to motivate them so that on their own they would be able to do that. So this is how second aspect of enterprising personality, that is problem solving. We have seen goal setting, then we have seen problem solving. Third important attribute of the enterprising individual is high level of internality regarding locus of control. Let me clarify that. Whenever there is a natural human tendency that something wrong happens, we put the blame on the others. Whenever some achievement is there, we take the credit on our own. So high level of internal locus of control indicates that whenever something wrong happens, instead of blaming others, you see to it that what might went wrong, what was responsible, what kind of mistake was being incurred by me, what kind of error did I make, and accordingly, I assume responsibility for whatever has happened to me. Whenever I accept responsibility of the outcome of my task, whatever happens to me, definitely with that, such kind of persons definitely they reach high echelons of management wherever they go, wherever they reach, definitely they do their best because they know that they are performing their best to the best of their ability, they are doing their best. Wherever they are ready, they are open to any suggestion, they are open to any mistake, admitting of any mistake. By all means, they would be moving towards perfection. They would be moving towards excellence. Only when you accept the responsibility of your performance, then only your confidence increases and then only you become more effective in further performance. So this is how enterprising individuals, three specific qualities they are expected from them: goal setting, problem solving, and again, high level of internality regarding locus of control. So we teachers, we should see to it that all these three kind of qualities, we should encourage our students to check all these three qualities and accordingly see to it that they are trying their best so as to move toward the desirable kind of outcomes. Next part indicates who would assume leadership in various spheres to face national and global challenges. Assume leadership. We should give opportunity to our students to assume responsibility at various different opportunities, various different ways and means we should find out so that different students, they would be getting the opportunity for indicating how far they are able to get along with the others, how they would be successful in convincing others. When it comes to persuading others, to impress upon others, to convince others, how many students they are confident of that? How many of them they can be able to do that? So it is to be checked. How many students they are required to play the role of a leader? They are ready to play the role of a leader. It has to be checked. They should be given some opportunities in which they could check their leadership ability. And it may happen that once they are given the opportunity, definitely they would get the benefit of that opportunity for improving themselves. So we should check leadership ability of our students and give them opportunity to do that. So this is the purpose of holistic education. So we have just discussed all the essentials regarding the purpose of holistic education. Now let us move towards some aspects of multidisciplinary education. Multidisciplinary education, it indicates flexible curricular structure. Multidisciplinary education indicates, now as we understand, number of issues in the society today like pollution, like global warming, maybe like different terrorism, number of issues are there. So individually, such kind of issues, you would not be able to find out a solution for that. A problem of solid waste, a problem of e-waste. Number of such kinds of issues are there in the society for which involvement of more than one discipline, that is a must. And in absence of that, you would not be able to find out some kind of effective solution so as to overcome the problems. These issues, the entire universe is facing, the entire world is facing. So accordingly at your own level, in your own capacity, for your own place, for your own nation, you are required to find out the solutions. And accordingly, involvement of different specialists and involvement of different disciplinarians, involvement of different experts from different disciplines of human knowledge, it is required. In absence of that, it may not be possible to solve many such kind of issues. And because of that, we are moving towards nowadays, what we do is we are moving towards specialization, super specialization. The more we go for super specialization, specialties and super specialties as such, we are diverting from other areas of human knowledge. And because of that, there is disintegration of knowledge. This disintegration of knowledge that is very, very harmful. It is alarming. Get the example of medical professional. Previously, long back, there used to be the family doctors, and we were very much happy in keeping our health nice and in good condition with the help of only family doctors only. They were not having any specialization as such, but anyhow, the situation of health and wellness, it was good in the society. But with various developments, technological as well as societal developments, nowadays we are having specialization, super specialization, super specialization, and with that, there are experts for different organs, there are experts for different parts of the organs, and with that, ENT specialist is not aware about what is being done by the gynecologist. Now, humorously, it is being said that there is a super specialist for right eye, and super specialist of right eye doesn't know anything about the left eye. Now, it is definitely, it is not at all desirable of having such kind of disintegration of knowledge and such kind of compartmentalization between different areas of human disciplines. And with that, definitely there is a need of interdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, as well as multidisciplinary kind of approaches. Different disciplinarians, they should gather together, there should be brainstorming among them, there should be discussion amongst them, and by mutual exchange of ideas, by having a wide debate, by just considering various controversies, various contradictions, definitely an all-round kind of solution for the problem, it has to be present. And this is how multidisciplinary education, it is having its own conveniences, as well as it is having its own features as such. So with that, we are having a feature of flexible curricular structure. Flexible curricular structure indicates now there is no boundary. Previously, there used to be strict compartmentalization like art, science, commerce, engineering, medicine, law, agriculture. All different disciplines of human knowledge. In case you get agriculture, you are not supposed to go for humanities. In case you pick up science, you don't deal with any aspect of commerce, and like that. Compartmentalization was there. Once you choose that, you are aloof, you are very much away from the other areas of human knowledge. But now with NEP 2020, this flexible structure is there, and with that, some provision is being made for, in case you like physics, along with physics, you like dancing also, along with dancing, you are interested in sociology also. So definitely with that, the provision is being made for getting that kind of that kind of combination, and with that combination of different courses from different areas of human discipline, definitely you can work, you can develop yourself, and you can enjoy development of your personality and development of your life with such kind of combination. So this is how there is a flexibility in the curricular structure. There is a basket of different open electives. A wide assortment is there, and out of that assortment, you are just free to choose any courses of your choice, wherein you can enjoy your education journey. So that is the meaning of this flexibility in the curricular structure. Second aspect of this multidisciplinary education indicates there is multiple entry and multiple exit. This is again a very important kind of feature, multiple entry and multiple exit. Previously, because of health issue, because of maybe some of your family problem, you are not able to continue with your education. Near about 3 to 4 years are required for the sake of getting your graduate degree, and maybe 2 to 3 years are required. I mean, for different disciplines, different time duration is there. So in all, say if you are sought admission for a graduate program, you could finish only first year, but with first year, you don't get any certificate in your hands. And in after few years, in case again you want to appear for second year, that flexibility it was not available until yet. So in case you want to complete your graduation, again you had to seek permission, again you had to appear for the entrance examination, and again you had to appear for the clarify the score, crack the score, and then you had to seek permission for the first year. So it was a tedious kind of thing. But nowadays, there are multiple entry and multiple exit points in the education system. With that, for undergraduate degree, you finish the first year. You can make your exit after completing your first year also. In that case, you would be having a certificate in your hand that you completed the first year of your graduation. And with that certificate, maybe after few months or few years, again you want to rejoin the second year, you would be eligible to do that. That kind of flexibility is available in this NEP 2020. On similar lines, at the end of the second year, you will be getting a diploma in your hands. After completion of the third year, you will be getting a bachelor's degree. On the basis of your bachelor's degree, you can seek permission for the master's program. Or otherwise, in case you are interested in research, you can continue for your undergraduate program with the fourth year, in which you will be getting a bachelor's degree with research. A bachelor's research degree you will be getting, and with that, you can, in case you want to continue with your master's degree, then in case you are having bachelor's degree, then you'll have to seek permission, seek admission for 2-year master's program, in which second year exclusively would be devoted for research. Or otherwise, in case you have completed fourth year graduation program, you are having graduate degree at your hands with research, then in that situation, for seeking master's degree, you will be requiring only 1 year, because research already you had done, bachelor's degree already you have got. On that basis, you are required to complete only 1 year. Whatever credits they are mentioned there, you have to complete only those many credits of different courses, and then you would be eligible for pursuing your master's program also. Again, regarding this multidisciplinary education, you are having one more facility of academic bank of credits, which is a very meaningful and very effective kind of feature of NEP 2020. In which case, each program, each degree program, each master's degree program would be having requisite number of credits to be sought at each level. It is not compulsory for you to seek the credits only from the institute, higher education institute where you are studying. Along with that, recognize higher education institutions as well as some other online platforms like Swayam, MOOCs. From those, you can seek those credits, you can complete those courses, you can seek those credits, and you can store those credits. ABC, Academic Bank of Credits, means a digital platform, a digital repository in which in the first year, in case you want to seek only 20 credits, but additionally, in case you are free, you are interested in completing few other courses also. So additional credits which you may require for second year, or maybe you will be requiring for third year, you can complete in advance and you can keep those credits stored in your digital locker, and wherever there is a need, because you know that second year you would be busy with some work. You may not be having adequate time for completing the regular credits for the second year, which are necessary for the second year. So in that situation, you can complete all those credits in the third year itself, first year itself, and you can get the benefit of additional credits in the second year or in the third year as and when you would be requiring that. So this is how academic bank of credits. This is the academic bank in which you can store your credits in a digital manner. You can store your certificates there, and as and when required, you can get the benefit of those certificates and you can complete your education in a very enjoyable kind of manner. Then another major feature of multidisciplinary education of NEP 2020 indicates MERU, multidisciplinary teaching and research universities. Now, at this moment, regarding this multidisciplinary education, we observe that some higher education institutes, they deal with only few disciplines. They are not having all the disciplines kind of curriculum being imparted through their system. In due course of time, all such kinds of higher education institutions who are dealing with unitary system, they will have to add further other disciplines also in the institute, and near about by 2030 you will find that all higher education institute, they would be typically will be multidisciplinary. They would be delivering multidisciplinary kind of education. There would be integrated programs also. Integrated programs indicates once you seek admission for the graduate program, consequently you can finish up your master's program also 3+2 or 4+1. In this manner, you can continue with your multidisciplinary kind of educational institute also. So this is how all higher education institutions, they would be multidisciplinary educations in due course of time, and you would be eligible to get the multidisciplinary education as per the requirements and as per the need of the hour. Then some autonomous, nowadays in the universities, we are having affiliated system. For each university, number of colleges, affiliated colleges, they are associated with. Then examination pattern, delivering exam papers, exam assessment, declaration of results, distribution of certificates, all such kinds of activities, they are the responsibility of the affiliating university. But now that system would be eliminated in due course of time in a step-by-step manner. Now, after that, there would be only teaching universities, there would be only research universities, there may be a combination of teaching and learning universities. There would be autonomous institutions. There would be no affiliated colleges as such, would be dependent upon others for syllabus, for syllabus framing, for curriculum design, for exam conduct, maybe for exam assessment, maybe for result declaration and all that. Autonomous institution, they would be performing all these activities at their own level, uh, being dealing with multidisciplinary kind of streams of education as such. Then again, one more important feature of this multidisciplinary education would be various levels of choice-based education. Choice would be given at various steps for the sake of exercising your own interest, for the sake of exercising your own aptitude and like that. Whereas you can pick up some courses of your choice within the same department or across deanery, across different uh, uh, disciplines of knowledge. Maybe you would be eligible for dual degree. That kind of process is being is being performed at this moment. So very soon, within few days, you will be getting the guidelines for dual degree also. And along with that, across institutions and universities, credit transfer, it would be possible. Already I told you that. Credit transfer, it would be possible, maybe from the recognized higher education institutions or maybe various online platforms like Swayam, MOOCs and some other online kind of recognized kind of platforms. So may not be compulsory, may not be mandatory for you to seek all the credits from the same institute where you have sought the admission. Along with that, whatever courses you might be interested in from other institutions, definitely you would be free to pick up such kind of courses of your choice, and accordingly you can be able to complete your degree with the necessary number of courses. Now with this, we reach at the last phase of our session in the form of knowing about the main essentials of holistic as well as multidisciplinary education. So before continuing further, I would like to know, in case you are having some queries, I would be waiting for you for a few moments for getting your queries, and then I would be summing up today's session. I'm waiting for 2 more minutes for any query from your side, or otherwise, I would just be concluding today's presentation. Okay, it seems that there is no question, so I would be summing up the presentation. So, holistic and multidisciplinary education, it is directed towards intellectual development, social development, physical development, emotional development, moral development, psychological development, as well as spiritual development. All dimensions of the personality, all aspects of the human beings, definitely they are being cared, they are being attended while dealing with this holistic and multidisciplinary education. Now, in the light of this holistic and multidisciplinary education, I would like to put in front of you core life skills which have been laid down by the World Health Organization. World Health Organization, it talked about, because education is not only about making the livelihood, not only making you ready for the life, for making your livelihood. Education is about life. Education is life. So with reference to that, some life skills, definitely they are required to be nurtured out of this education process. So which kind of core life skills they are required to be present in everyone? It is mentioned self-awareness. While dealing with the second session today, I made a reference regarding self-awareness, koham, who am I, that kind of activity, in which I talked about SWOT analysis. So definitely uh, having a perfect clarity about oneself, self-appraisal, knowing about the strengths, weaknesses about oneself, definitely that is the ultimate requirement. Along with that, empathy that is expected from everyone, critical thinking, creative thinking, decision making, such kinds of skills, definitely everyone has to possess, because we are having teachers with us, we are having friends with us, we are having our parents with us, we are having our relatives with us, but in spite of that, we are required to make our own decision. At some point in time, we do feel that I'm on my own to take my own decision. At that point in time, very creatively, you are required to visualize the situation, understand the ins and outs of the situation, and take the appropriate decision at that moment on the basis of your critical thinking. So this is how these kinds of core skills, definitely they are expected from the from everyone. Along with that, while dealing with entrepreneurial personality, I made a mention regarding problem solving skills. So WHO also indicated problem solving skills as a core life skill. Along with that, effective communication, interpersonal relationships, stress management, and emotion management. These are few more skills they are expected from every individual so as to develop a safe, secure, happy, and comfortable life. Definitely. In absence of communication, definitely no pleasures of life they can be enjoyed. Effective communication is a must. No task can be finished in absence of being an effective communicator. Communication may be oral, it may be verbal, it may be written, it may be horizontal, it may be vertical, it may be external, it may be internal, it may be formal, informal, it may be of any kind, but definitely in absence of communication, nothing can be achieved, nothing can be done. Interpersonal relationship thing, same thing. Man basically is a social being. It is a social human being. So definitely we live in society. We are a part of the society. In absence of the knowledge regarding how to get along with the others, definitely no happiness it would be observed. No success it could be attained. So it is but just imperative that interpersonal relationship one has to learn and one has to develop. Stress, a part of day-to-day life. Let it be any aspect of our life, definitely stress comes up. Stress in absence of stress, you may not be giving your best. So definitely stress is having its own importance for proper discharge of duties, for good performance. But definitely beyond the limit, stress should not rise. And whenever you are required to keep stress within limits, definitely you have to learn that kind of technique. You have to be aware about how to deal with stress management. Same is the case with emotion. There are positive emotions as well as there are negative emotions. So definitely what is important is dealing with proper management of feelings as well as emotions, and then only you will be meeting with success. Then only you will be pleased, you are meeting with some pleasures of your life. And then we come at the last part of the presentation in the form of 7 social sins. In case you are aware about Gandhian philosophy, then regarding what are the do's and don'ts, what kind of guidelines for ethical behavior. So definitely now, as we understand what is ethical and what is not ethical, so the timeline, the demarcation line that is having uh, some kind of blurred line is there. So in that situation, again, you are required to appreciate what is to be done and what is to be avoided, do's and don'ts. There has to be a perfect clarity regarding all those. And for that reason, definitely ethical guidelines given by Mahatma Gandhi ji, so definitely they are required to be appreciated. So Gandhiji said that 7 social sins, definitely in any case, they are required to be avoided in any case. So first, politics without principles. So at our level, as a teacher, we are required to appreciate that. We are required to demonstrate that through our uh, behavior, through our actions, through our decisions. And definitely, whenever we walk our talk, definitely our students, they would be learning a lot out of such kind of out of such kind of demonstrations and exhibitions. So politics, it is everywhere. We cannot avoid that, but definitely it has to be with some principles. We have to respect the principles, and then we have to go for politics. Second is education without character. So education is definitely for the sake of building the character. In case education doesn't build character, then such kind of education is useless, it is meaningless. So it has to be avoided, it has to be changed. And this is how education without character is a social sin. And definitely we have to see to it that education, definitely it is building the character, it is giving rise to the character. Commerce without morality. Profitability, definitely that is the need of the hour. Everyone is having that kind of motive. But anyhow, there are required to be some morals, there are required to be some ethical guidelines, and only with reference to that, you are required to deal with some commercial transactions also. Pleasure without conscience. By all means, there are numerous desires at our own level, but anyhow, we should not miss the conscience. And then definitely it would be a win-win kind of situation for the entire society as a whole. Wealth without work, it is a social sin. Whenever you are having wealth, definitely you are required to work. And in case you are getting wealth without work, then you have to reconsider. You have to think again and again why this is happening. And in case you find that still you are doing the same, then you must avoid that. Then science without humanity. We have experienced that so many times. In case many discoveries and many inventions of science, in case without a human objective, in case without some kind of just mm, science, we say that it is a double-edged kind of weapon. In case you focus only on the discoveries and inventions, and we don't pay any attention to the human side of the invention, definitely the world would be at a doom. So it would be very much disastrous to do that. And definitely We have to ensure that humanity is respected, human element is being honored, and then only science, it would be meaningful, it would be useful and fruitful for the society. And last point is worship without sacrifice. In case you are worshiping, definitely some sacrifice has to be associated with that. So when you are considering education with reference to this holistic development of the students, by avoiding such kinds of social sins as such, then only we can say that we are in the right direction, and then we are giving full justice for our task as a teacher. So with this, I finish my say, whatever just uh, reflections I wanted to share with you regarding holistic as well as multidisciplinary education. In case some additions there, in case I miss something and you want to add something, definitely I would love to listen from you.